Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Nizzy's Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, we're just going to be breaking down the Raptors' heartbreak loss to the Knicks last night by a score of 120 to 103 for the New York Knicks. It was more of a matinee game. It wasn't really last night. I guess they played yesterday morning, or early afternoon on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, so it was morning time for me. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, rough go for the Raptors yesterday. We had no secondary help whatsoever. Other than Pascal, Fred, and OG, I mean, the rest of the team played atrocious. Kem Birch was okay, but other than that, man, I think Nick Nurse really just overworked our starters, man. Like, I was looking at the minutes, and I think Pascal, Fred, and OG all were like 40-plus minutes. Kyle had like 36 minutes. And then some weird ones, like Gary Trent didn't play that much. Malachi only played for 5 minutes. We didn't really utilize our bench that much, and you could really see how it hurt us down the stretch yesterday because we just didn't have the juice in that fourth quarter to keep up with the Knicks, right? And I think that just goes to show, like, we need to use that bench a little more, man. And not only that, man, Lowry was shooting horrendous last night. 1 of 10. 1 of 10 from the field for Kyle. Couldn't hit anything last night. I mean, even if he would have made 2 or 3 of those buckets, even if he went like 4 for 10, the night would have been a lot different, right? And then the thing that really confused me with what Nick Nurse did is he only played Malachi for 5 minutes when Kyle wasn't hitting shit all game. He was playing, getting some assists and stuff, but Malachi can do the same thing. And he's someone that really seems to turn it on in the fourth quarter. Like Malachi, I don't know if you guys been watching the last few games he's played, but it seems like his shot's kind of slow to start the first half, and then as soon as that fourth quarter comes around, it's like his clutch gene kind of kicks in. And then all of a sudden, this guy starts banging in threes or hitting some nice floaters in the lane. But he never even got a chance to do that last night. He only played 5 minutes on the floor. I just think the minutes were really mismanaged by Nick Nurse yesterday. I understand he's trying to go for the win and he wants to play his main guys, but your main guys haven't been playing. And your main guys haven't been playing great either. Like, tonight was a nice night for Pascal, Fred, and OG. Let's give you some stats on them. Pascal went for 26 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists. So a nice overall game from him. Freddie finished up with 27 points, 5 boards, 11 assists. And then OG also had 27 points, 5 boards, and then 3 assists. So all of them over 25 points, 26, 27, and 27. And then after that, you guys, we did not have one single player on our team even get to 10 points. And that's your biggest issue right now. You can't have a couple guys carry the team. You want to win in this league, you got to have a full team. Especially when you don't have like a bona fide superstar who's going to go and get you 40 or 35 every game and just be able to annihilate and make every shot. Because even though Pascal had 26, I think he still shot below 50%. He was like 42% from the field. Freddie as well shot, I think, 50% or just below. And then OG actually had a nice shooting percentage. But normally if OG goes off, he does have a nice shooting percentage. So he was a little bit more efficient. But other than that, man, nobody was draining nothing. I mean, we allowed the Knicks to shoot like crazy. Our defense was atrocious, man. Our rebounding was awful. I mean, we allowed the Knicks to shoot 56% from the field as well as 51% from three-point range. I mean, at least from what I was watching in most of the game, you guys, it seems like we were just so focused on Julius Randle that we just completely negated the fact that they had other guys that could bang it in from three. And that's, to me, what I was seeing a lot of is just too much focus on one guy and not worrying about the second or third option that's sitting in the corner wide open for those 3-point. Like, Reggie Bullock was killing us. RJ Barrett had a nice game for him as well. He had 25 points with 12 boards and 4 assists. And then Randall was, even though we were freaking playing almost double teaming him up every time and really playing tough defense on him, he still managed to get 31 points, 10 boards, and assists. So, I mean, there's nothing that we could do to stop these guys. Our defensive switching was not very good. We're coming out really late into those corner threes. I mean, those guys were just hucking up corner threes with ease on us, especially with having the 2 small guards, Kyle and Fred, on the floor at the same time. Really hurt our 3-point defense. I really thought Gary Trent should have had the start, especially you look at Kyle going 1 for 10, man. Like, why did Gary Trent not get more run time? Why did, I understand Kyle's our guy, man, and he's the greatest Raptor of all time and all this, but he's also 35 years old. Also 35 years old, been dealing with injury all year. And, just doesn't, you can see him deteriorate slowly as we go here, you guys. It's an unfortunate thing to watch, but age is going to freaking get us all at the end of the day, right? So, Lowry is there's still a lot of value he brings, but he's not that go-to 20-point and 7 or 8 assist guy every game anymore. He's lucky if he can average you 10 points a game. If Kyle can get you 10 points a game nowadays, that's formidable. But it's even a struggle for him to get that right now, man. So I would have loved to see them play Malachi a lot more. I think with only 5 minutes in the game, how the hell is he supposed to make an impact in any sort of way? I mean, he went in for the end of the first quarter. I think he came in the beginning of the second quarter for a few minutes, and that's the only time the guy got on the court. And then they like running that, having like Kyle come off the floor, and then Fred stays out there, and then when Fred comes off, Kyle comes back on. But it just wasn't working, man. And I mean, you look at how we were playing before all these guys come back, and we're playing outstanding team basketball. And then the team basketball kind of disappears here, and it goes back to like a couple guys going off, and then everyone else standing around watching, man. So I think it's just completely wrecked the flow of the Raptors. I don't think we're going to be making the playoffs anymore. We'll see what happens. I just don't got a lot of faith in this starting lineup. I think we got a backlog of guards right now, and I think Malachi and Gary Trent would be better off getting a lot more minutes because they are so young and they need that developmental time. And not only that, because they're young, they're more active on the defensive end, and they're also have that ability just to go off one game. Like, look at Gary Trent. He's had 2 career games with us since he's been with us, and now he's coming off the bench. Like, the guy had 2 career games over 30 plus points, and we're bringing him off the bench for like 10 minutes. How does that make any sense? It makes no sense to me. I understand, you got this pecking order system of veterans first and then younger guys after that, but shouldn't it be play the most capable player at that time? Like, if Kyle, I'm cool with them starting Lowry and Fred, but if Lowry's shooting abysmal like he was, then he shouldn't be playing for 40 minutes that game. He should be playing for like 25. And give some of the other guys a run who might actually be able to make a shot for you or facilitate a little better. So, and this isn't no hate on Lowry. I love Kyle Lowry, man. He's going to have a jersey in the rafters one day at Scotiabank Arena. But at the end of the day, you got to understand as a coach, if you want to try and win, you got to give your team the best chance to win. And sometimes that means sitting down your veteran player and playing your rookie player because he might give you a better chance that day. And we never even gave Malachi a shot with 5 minutes. Gary Trent, I think, shot 2 of 8. He wasn't really shooting that well either. And he hasn't been since he's been coming off the bench. And I believe that's because he's trying to force a shot a little bit, trying to get into a rhythm. Whereas he didn't have to do that starting because he could kind of take a shot or two and then he's okay to pass the ball off a bit and then come back and take his next shot or two because he's just a guy that loves to search for his own shot. He does not like shooting off screens and shit like that. At least from what I can tell. I mean, he can still bang them in, but he's really good at creating his own shot. And that's what he enjoys doing. And it's tough to create your own shot and take a lot of shots to get yourself in a rhythm coming off the bench when you don't know how many minutes you're going to have. So there he is hucking up all these shots trying to get into a rhythm, but then he doesn't play again. So his shooting percentage doesn't get to improve. And because he's not getting enough time, he's not really caring to be that playmaker style guy because he feels like he's this pure scorer. So when he's getting limited amount of time, his main focus is just to go out there and score. Whereas when you put him in the starting lineup and he's got that ability to get some more minutes and he's not worried to look it over his shoulder when he's getting pulled, then the guy can go and still huck up some of those oddball shots that he ends up getting to go, as well as being able to be a bit of a facilitator as we've seen in the games that Gary Trent started. So that's just my opinion, guys. I think we got a big backlog going on here at the guard spot. I think Masai made a mistake. We should have traded Lowry, and it's not because I don't like Lowry, but we got a giant backlog, and things would be running much smoother if we would have just gotten like a second-round pick and maybe a big man or a couple second-rounders or something like that for Lowry. He would have been on a contender team, getting a chance at a championship again, and we would have been able to get a really good look at our young guns and been able to really progress them the rest of the year. And I think we probably would have made the playoffs with those guys because they were really coming along while we had all of our main dudes out. So really unfortunate loss, you guys. Kind of dampens the hopes on the playoffs, especially with all the tough ones coming up. We got Cleveland on Monday. Should be able to take care of business there. If we don't take care of business against Cleveland, the season's done because after Cleveland, it's a gauntlet of teams, man. I mean, the amount of West Coast teams we got coming up, and just a lot of great quality teams, a lot of hard-nosed guys who are getting ready for their playoff pushes. And pretty much every game from here on out is going to be a playoff atmosphere. And there's only a few of them left, man. If we lose 2 or 3 in a row here, she's done. She's over, boys. She's over if we go on a losing streak here. So we got to get back on her. Get back on a winning streak. We'll see what happens. Rough go yesterday. Kind of hit the reset button here and get ready for Cleveland. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. You think the Raptors should have tried some different lineups? You think Kyle played too much? Should Malachi have gotten more minutes? Let me know what you guys think. But anyways, guys, this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat signing off, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.